assists by 1. Played like 20 minutes.
Hey, man, if he would have gotten that foul call on that last play of the game, you would have hit.
Welcome to the losers. Wait
a second.
Welcome to the winners lounge. The Denver Nuggets snatch victory from the jaws of defeat in Indiana. A gritty win, you might say. An ugly win, you definitely would say. But they get it done. A comeback win, a come from behind after trailing by 18 points. The Nuggets come back and get a 122-119 lead over the foul-mouthed, trash-talking Indiana Pacers.
Mainly just Tyrese Halliburton.
And mainly just one time.
Yeah.
You know,
After a pretty big shot.
After a really good play that he deserved to talk shit about. And but you know what? He did it, and then he missed the next one.
Lost.
So you're going to talk trash, you better not lose. We're presented as always by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app. You see it up there, promo code DNVR. I just checked my bets. I did pretty good tonight.
Hell yeah.
The only thing I missed, Dev, was the lock.
That's okay. It was still a win. I gave out about 6, 7.
He did hand out a lot of winners.
Yeah.
The lock didn't come through, but we'll forgive you because the Nuggets got the win and we made money. Over here, I got Brendan Vogt.
Big win. I did miss a parlay, a 10-lead parlay by 1 Jokic point.
Really?
If you would have hit back-to-back
I was
like parlays.
I was those refs away from back-to-back 10-leggers. But you know what? I'm still feeling good. What a win. Gutsy win.
Jokic puts up the same numbers no matter how many minutes he plays.
It's
Whether it's
unbelievable.
8 minutes or 45 minutes, he just still gets his numbers.
The exact line.
Over here, I got Harrison Wind.
Oh, man. I'm excited for the one show a year that we blame the refs. Happens once. It's one game a year. We don't like to dwell on those guys too much, but
they won, so
I'm ready to let it all out tonight.
We'll talk about it. I mean, like, I want to go back and look at some of these. It's fun to rag on officials or something in real time. We'll go back. Dev, Superstar Dev.
Listen, that was a fun game for me. I think that there was just a lot going on. It's an early game, so I was in a good mood, and I'm ready to get this thing started.
Let's not lie. That's the second part of that is why you're in a good mood.
No, that was a fun game. Really, I liked it.
I don't have a fast recap tonight. I've been monitoring the chat. I know some people could do with it or without it. Tonight, there were a lot of like individual moments.
We could have just skipped to the third quarter for the fast recap anyway.
We probably could have. I'm not going to lie, guys. Tonight, I had some people I had to entertain today. So I'm going to rely on you guys a little bit for the recap here. But I'll just go right to big takeaways. I mean, the Nuggets. The overarching theme of tonight was the Nuggets get up huge. Their starting lineup started out 10-3. They looked incredible. They looked so comfortable and so good out there that Jokic threw. He picked the ball off the ground and threw like a behind-the-back pass. That was the single worst pass of Jokic's career.
He threw that with the attentiveness that I like throw a shirt into the laundry.
Totally.
Like that's what I do at my house. Just like, woo.
That's how bad
he did that too. Like in an NBA game.
It was so casual the way he did that. But again, when he threw that pass that was off by I think 15 feet, I just kept thinking like these guys are so confident right now that they're just like are willing to and for good reason. They were up 10-3.
Yeah.
But then something happened. Jokic actually gave a take foul that I think was his first foul, and they called it a shooting foul for Miles Turner. If we want to talk about questionable, that was the most questionable call tonight. Was Jokic? First of all, I thought they called what are the new rules where you're like a fast break? Because it kind of was in transition. It was just in the half court. And I thought they called that, and I thought that was kind of crazy. But instead they called it shooting, and it's Jokic's first foul. And I swear to God, guys, Jokic only fouls out of games when he does stupid fouls late in the first quarter for no reason. It always starts there.
Yeah.
Because he thinks like, I have no fouls. I can go ahead and do this. So he does that one, picks up a second one immediately, comes back in, gets a third one immediately. Malone stays with him, gets a fourth one. I was so happy and proud of Malone sticking with him because most times coaches will take a guy out and so punishes him for his trust by immediately picking up a fourth foul. Jokic comes into the third quarter, gets a fifth foul immediately. Mm-hmm. I'm skipping over a lot of other details to the game, but the point is the Nuggets were up big. They looked like they were going to dominate this game. The fouls happen, and they get down big. Then Jokic goes out, and you think, oh, my God, the game's over. Down 18 points. Second unit rallied back. It gets close, and the Nuggets eke out a win. Harrison, you're already making a bunch of noises. What's your big takeaway?
Pause. Man, my big takeaway is like, look, the Nuggets could have just folded tonight. It would have been so easy. I probably would have folded if I was in that game, to be honest. Jokic has 5 fouls. Like, we're on the second night of a 4-game road trip. Let's just get to Boston. Yeah, let's just get to Boston, reconvene, reset there. They definitely could have just given up tonight.
I totally gave up. I think a lot
Me
of people
too,
watching
man.
emotionally gave up on that. Like,
Yeah.
oh, well, that's a loss.
Me too. And what do you know? They found something. Indiana also started playing like shit. I have no idea what the Pacers were doing in the second half tonight. Miles Turner also got in foul trouble, but the bottom line is the Nuggets just didn't give up tonight. They kept fighting. They kept just scrapping for whatever. They made enough shots, and they got it close enough to get to a point where the game was still competitive when Nikola Jokic could come back in. And that, was the goal all along, I'm sure. Michael Malone in the back of his head was just probably thinking, let's just get this to a point where I can bring Jokic back in. And you got to give credit to Aaron Gordon, KCP,
Totally.
Bones Highland, the guys who were out there for a lot of minutes in that second half. They kept fighting. And you got to give a lot of props to him for that.
Dev, what are your initial thoughts?
I think my biggest takeaway is the resiliency of this bunch right here. Like Harrison said, this is a game that you easily could have folded. You're on the road. Your star player gets into foul trouble. You have to play DeAndre Jordan a lot of minutes. The second unit didn't play, particularly well. But people stepped up and they still found a way to come back. They were down 18 points in the game and they continued to fight, continued to be able to get it done even without Jokic in the game. And that's just what shows you how different this group is they're finding different ways that you just have not seen in the past. So this is a group that truly does step up and it's just built different.
Yeah.
Credit, I think you named them, AG and KCP. KCP in the third quarter, he turned this thing around. He was unbelievable. I thought he was playing so hard, some big shot making. But both of those guys, AG, him bringing the ball up the court at the end of the game was stop.
Right.
Maybe dial it down. But that was a symptom of how hard he was playing, and he should get credit for how hard he'd played without Jokic on the floor. He was a beast on the boards. And I think you guys really hit it. If there was a game you pick where a team folds, that's it. That's the moment. And because of those two guys in particular, I thought they just pushed through it and fought through it. So even with the 5 turnovers, credit AG for the effort because it was unbelievable. But stop bringing the ball up. Both things are true.
KCP's a winner, man. We're 11 games into it, and this is my official ruling. KCP's a winner. That guy, he just does so many things that are he's super smart. He's in the right spots. And then, he hit 2 threes tonight in big moments. That comeback, there were so many little things that if any of it went the other way, Denver doesn't come back. And 2 of the big ones were those corner threes that he got that he was just nails on. And I don't know, man, KCP, last game I said he was the unsung hero of the Nuggets so far, the guy not getting it. I think he's now elevated to full everybody's has to acknowledge. This guy has just been so huge for Denver. 2-way player, playing great defense and knocking down big shots. What does he go, 3 of 4? Isn't he? Correct me. He's the number 1 volume 3-point shooter, right?
In the league?
I think he is. Of guys taking 5 threes, I think he's at 54% coming into the night.
I wouldn't be surprised.
And then he goes 3 of 4 tonight. So his 3-point percentage went up today. And by the way, those were big boy shots. Those weren't
those back-to-back ones were massive.
We think a lot about, you play with Jokic, you're going to get a lot of good looks. And that's, I think, a big part of how he's been in a rhythm this year. But tonight that was not the case. Tonight was, hey, under pressure, you got to knock him down. And he came with them.
And his defense, too. 2 more steals tonight. I think he's got 9 steals in his last 3 games.
Yeah.
Those 2 Spurs games in tonight. You watch him when he's 1 pass away off the ball. He's always denying his man off the ball. And he's just so alert defensively when he's 1 pass away. A lot of guys on this team, and you'll see them slough off a little, and all of a sudden they're not close enough to their defender to get up and challenge a 3-point shot. He's just always right there. He's always in the right spot.
And he defends past. There's an initial sequence you have to defend, and KCP stays focused through the whole possession. And I'll say it too, because I'm a huge fan of his, coming off a guy like Will Barton, who might be there initially, but then ultimately gives up on the play or loses focus. And KCP is just locked in on that end. He was so good in that third quarter. And that's the way Jokic left the game, and everyone at home goes, that's it. And everyone on the floor said, we're turning it up. And that's just, That is a big time win to keep the momentum going.
That's my big takeaway. This was not a good team, but Denver, Jokic was a plus 11 tonight. He was good when he was on the court. But Denver could have had that game in a place where it wouldn't have mattered when Jokic checked back in, and it wasn't the case. Like that second unit found other ways on the fly to get the job done tonight, and to me, that's the most encouraging thing. Honestly, there haven't been many instances in the entire 8 years Jokic has been in the league where the team has like won to the degree they did tonight without him.
Yeah.
Right.
For sure. Yeah, usually this is a game where Nikola Jokic just might not come back in.
Right. Oh, when he got his fifth foul and came out, I would have bet my life savings that the game was over. He'll never play. He won't play again.
He probably should have just gone back to the locker room and got in an ice bath.
Yeah.
Start his recovery, because the Nuggets never come back or hang with a team in these games enough to get him back in at the end.
Yeah, KCP, I owe you an apology.
I was
not really familiar with your game.
He's going full Shaq.
But what I got to see was he's a big time player, and he steps up. He steps up every single time that they need him to. And he really led that second group to just basically fighting and not giving up at all. That's something that we have not seen with him, and I'm not saying he's the biggest difference, but that's a difference when you bring in a guy like that. He hasn't gave up at all. He's hit big shots when they've needed him. He's rallied the group around him, and that was a game I know everybody that was watching. There was a lot of people that walked out of the bar because they thought it was over.
People left the bar tonight.
People thought that it was done because Nuggets fans have seen that before, where Jokic is in foul trouble, things are not going their way, the game's over. But nope, this team is a little bit different where other guys can carry, other guys can step up. So it is encouraging.
And let's talk about some of these fouls here tonight, because I know people are going to want to talk about it. Here's my biggest takeaway on the foul front. I mean, one was Jokic taking the take foul early in the game, which is again, Jokic's just so valuable. Miles Turner, he was running back. Miles Turner goes around him. Just let him dunk it, man. How many points is a Jokic foul? How many points would you forfeit for to save a Jokic foul? Because I promise you it's
3.
more than 2. 3? Yeah. So if you told me right now, you could either have Jokic give a take foul, or you could have not a penalty. Jokic could give a foul, or the other team can have a 3-pointer.
5?
Yeah, I would say it's 6 or 7
I'd say 5.
The chat's saying it, though, and it's true. It wasn't just Jokic's foul. First of all, I'd be pissed if I were a Pacers fan, too. There were a lot of bad calls, especially down the stretch. A lot of the travel calls where it just felt like you could have called that any other possession.
Yeah, what's going on with the travels this year?
They're making an emphasis, which... It might be 10 years too late for that emphasis.
It's weird because, when you allow a thing for so long.
Right. That's
and then now I'm confused about what a travel is.
It will probably go away in 2 months.
It probably will.
Yeah.
There's a lot of...
By the playoffs, everybody will be
There was a
traveling
stretch
again.
there where there was 5 travels in a row.
Oh, it's terrible.
It was so weird.
And even the foul that they called, that the Pacers allegedly took on Jamal, they never tried to foul him at the end.
We didn't get a lot of replays of this, but the second foul to me seemed like the most obvious. That's the one you challenge if you're going to challenge one. Malone, and this is a mild criticism because I think all coaches are bad at this. Malone challenges emotionally. And what I mean by that is challenges should only be used when you have as close to 100% certainty that a thing is going to happen, assuming that it has some leverage to it. Either it causes points or it's to a key player. Jokic's second foul to me was the one that was so soft, and his fifth one, by the way. But his second one was the one that was so soft. Malone doesn't challenge it. The third one was so obviously a foul on Jokic, and Malone challenged it. And it was emotional because it's man, a third foul really hurts us. It's yes, but it was a foul.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And that was the one he challenged. And I'm telling you, when it happened, I was Malone's going to challenge this. And he's going to lose. Mm-hmm. And he did
that
it.
Was a
I was
bad challenge. Yeah.
You're right. It's not actually about timing or sequential order of when the foul comes. It's which one can you definitely take off the board.
That one was definitely not going to get overturned.
Yeah.
He just runs into him.
Yeah.
I almost, and we didn't have the broadcast. Maybe the only thing I could think was, are they challenging it because it was a foul on MPJ and they're trying to get him to switch it? But that you don't really. I've never seen a coach
Do you know what I
challenge
think?
to say.
You know what I think? It should be a button you press, and the guy should be allowed to not give it to the coach.
Oh, I love that idea.
It's Malone's give me that, and he's no, dude, not
it
a
was
chance.
such an emotion this. But Malone, I feel like a lot of his challenges are that way. They're more emotional than logical.
Yeah.
And I'm that was a pure oh, this sucks. 3
Right,
fouls or 4. I
right.
think maybe it was 4 at that point. 4 fouls. That
What
would
was the
be
one
killer.
where Jokic and Aaron Gordon both fouled him, and they gave the call to Jokic?
That was his.
That was the
fifth foul?
fourth. I think that was the fourth
Yeah.
because Miles Turner at the beginning of the third was the fifth.
And that one to me was crazy because what happened on the fifth one is the one I think if you have all of the ones to be frustrated about, the fifth one to me was the one because Miles Turner was initiating the contact, and I thought Jokic did a good job of like not getting his hand.
He put one hand down and
Yeah,
then
like-
tried to keep the other up.
And they called that foul, and I'm thinking, A, I don't think it's a foul anyway, and B, it was so obvious Jokic was in the game with foul trouble to call that one immediately. I just thought that was the one to me that I thought, oh man, that's such a tough break here. But you know what happens? Bad calls are part of the game, and everybody has them. To Vogt's point, there were calls the Nuggets got tonight that I thought were like, oh man, lucky break for Denver. And the key is that they overcame it. I will say, it would be made easier if Jokic didn't look so mopey again. I think part of like the thing with Jokic this year is he's playing great. I have no questions about how he's playing. He just looks like he's not enjoying it. in any
You're
way.
like you're allowed
Definitely
to
not.
if you want to enjoy it
Yeah.
just a little bit.
He almost is aggressively not enjoying it. I feel
I
like
know.
he's like when I'm in a bad mood and I want to make a point to somebody, you know, like somebody says your wife or something, and you're like want to let her
Totally, man.
know. I'm like, hey, that's how Jokic plays basketball right now.
Yeah. And with all that, he had 24,
Right.
4 and
He's
6.
dominant.
Yeah, I mean,
dominant.
21
I don't care
minutes.
when they're winning.
I no, there is a weird thing where I want my hero to be happy.
Well, I mean, yeah, it should be fun. It should be fun. Life's
Yeah,
been good
he's
to
come
you.
down from the cross.
Right.
Yeah.
Just enjoy life a little.
Yeah, you're off the cross, bro.
Enjoy
You know
it,
what?
man.
You want to know
Get that
something?
memo.
life.
You want to know something? This was a
Beautiful life you
total
live.
off the cross game.
That's a great point.
This was a total
Get
off the
Ariana
cross.
on
He
the
was
show.
off
What's she
the
up
cross
to?
and nowhere to be seen.
Nowhere to be seen for a
No,
while.
and on the bench.
And he still led the team in points in 20 minutes.
And it was a plus 11.
Look at the balanced scoring here. You get, again, 6 guys scoring 15 or more. 6 guys, Bones Highland being the 6th, off of the bench.
Yeah.
Everyone in the starters had 15 or more. KCB had 15. You get Jamal Murray with 18, 17 for Porter, 18 for Gordon, 24. Let's get to Aaron Gordon. Dev, tell me about Aaron Gordon. You guys are raving about Aaron Gordon. I want to hear about.
Dude, he had a career high in rebounds, or tied a career high in rebounds.
It's a lot of rebounds.
17 rebounds in the game. He's everywhere, and that's while having to step up with their center out of the game. Like he's everywhere in help side defense. He's getting blocks, active on defense, and just like making sure that he's active. Like the dunks that he put up in the first half, that just kind of kept him around. They still went down by 18, but like at least there was life. He made sure to keep life in the game. Then went on a run where he's just like trying. There's a game that everyone could have like gave up, but he's like, no, I'm gonna play hard. I'm gonna still try. There were like moments that you're like a little bit frustrated on him over dribbling and things like that, but at least he's still giving it his all the entire time, and that's contagious. That's what you could rally behind. And guys like really stepped up for him. Knocked down a 3-pointer, 5 of 8 from the field. So it's not like he's trying to shoot the ball. He wasn't just like taking every shot. He did all the dirty work, and that's what you need from a guy. So monster game from him. Was he the DraftKings?
I think he is the DraftKings
Let's do it.
Sportsbook king of the
I
game.
think
I mean,
he
come on.
has to be.
He has to. 18, 17, 6 is a huge monster stat line. Plus 1 steal, 1 block. Just why not? Why not just get a little bit of everything in there? He was a +4 tonight in 34 minutes. Michael Porter played 36. Michael Malone continues to play Porter just an
He
insane
played
amount.
21 minutes in the first half.
Yeah, but continues to play. An
I don't
insane
know what was
amount of
happening
minutes.
there.
Michael Malone tried to break him? Is he tried? I'm just saying, man. It's a lot. 36 minutes.
I want to get to that later. I've got some questions about the
The
rotation.
rotation was
myself.
weird tonight.
Stay on Aaron Gordon, though.
Yeah. Well, the craziest part about Aaron Gordon's night is the 17 rebounds, of course. And you look at the rebounding totals for the Nuggets and Pacers. Denver managed to out-rebound Indiana 47-45 with Nikola Jokic only playing 21 minutes.
Crazy.
And typically, if Jokic is in foul trouble, he's only playing 21 minutes. There's no way that Denver's winning that rebounding battle. They did because Aaron Gordon called in 17 rebounds tonight.
Yeah.
So you just got to give him a lot of credit there. 5 on the offensive glass.
Yep.
And Dev brought it up, but there were a lot of moments tonight where I looked at Aaron Gordon. I was like, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah.
The pull-up threes in transition,
pull-up
not my
threes.
favorite
He had
shot.
5 turnovers.
The ISO ball.
Yeah,
like,
four
Jokic went out of
turnovers.
the game, and Aaron Gordon, I feel like, looked at himself and was like, all right, it's Aaron Gordon time.
Right.
I'm going to do this, man. Like, I'm going to bring us back. And he had a couple sequences that were like, dude, just settle down. Like, chill out. It's going
You
to be
say
okay.
that, but I will say, though, one thing, because I have to come to his defense in one way. There's a lot this year so far where he's done that, and it's resulted in a really impressive dunk, or like where he'll barrel his way to the rim where I'm like, dude, you're out of control. And then he goes up and dunks it, and you're like, oh, he just powered his way to the basket and shot it.
Yeah.
What I mean to say is Aaron Gordon is not an aesthetically pleasing basketball player for relative to like how good he is. And I think there's a little bit of that. But the transition three, the right step three, not shots I love.
Yeah, the turnovers. But, in the end, like in the fourth quarter, he turned it on. He absolutely turned it on and killed it.
King of the game. What did you see from him?
Totally. And again, I reiterate, I think even some of because I was seeing what you were seeing. At times it felt like AG was in 8th gear and you wanted him to be in like 4th, Turn it down a little.
Change the camera, Cal.
Turn it down just a little bit. But he ultimately, even those 4 turnovers, him taking the ball up, I do see that as a symptom of what was a good thing, which was just his determination to not lose this game.
Yeah.
And
that's a good word, determination. That's really what it was.
that's how he was playing. At times, for better and worse, and ultimately for the better. And so that was just a big effort from him.
Yeah.
And it's cool. It's cool to see the others step up, especially because the last couple of games, while it was a balanced effort, it was like, wow, look at the big three. And to see, AG, KCP come in and just sort of will this one in a different direction, it's a nice reminder. We always like to say it. You can win games in different ways. Good to get the ugly ones, too.
Coming up, we're going to talk about the rotation tonight, the bench unit that continues to look like it's always like on a razor's edge between great and horrible. We'll talk about that, as well as what does this win mean for the Denver Nuggets. I feel like this is a revealing win in a lot of ways. We'll get to all of that on the other side.
Basketball is back, guys. Tip off the season with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. New customers right now make any $5 NBA moneyline bet. Get $200 in free bets if your team wins. Also, everybody can boost their winnings up to 100%. We'll just call it the Brennan Vogt special.
Yeah.
With DraftKings stepped up same game parlays, the more legs you add, the bigger your odds boost is. Add 10 legs, get 100% odds boost. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code DNVR. Make any $5 bet this week. Get $200 in free bets if your team wins only at DraftKings Sportsbook with promo code DNVR. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. Also, guys, open enrollment's going on right now. It runs until January 15th. Hit up the good people at Denver Health Medical. They offer Elevate Exchange health plans available on the Connect 4 Health marketplace with great benefits and affordable plan choices. Call them direct, 303-602-4912. You can also sign up online for healthcare, denverhealthmedicalplan.org. The Elevate Exchange Plan, it's great for individuals and families looking for cost-effective quality health insurance, especially if you can't get it through your employer or if you might be self-employed and need to get covered. So if that sounds like you, give them a call, 303-602-4912, or you can go to denverhealthmedicalplan.org.
Alrighty, perfect. Back here, let's talk about the second unit here a little bit tonight, as well as the rotations. Bones Highland, man, here's my thing, because I think that Bones Highland is the guy's a scorer. I want him to be a scorer. That second unit requires it almost like the second unit, if he's making shots, is great. If he's missing shots, it's bad. He did a little bit of both tonight. He was ice cold and then red hot. I thought down the stretch, Bones' 2-man game with Jokic before Murray came back in was incredible. It was incredible. He had 2 passes in a row to Jokic that were like Murray-esque chemistry with Jokic there. And for as much as it was an up and down thing, I just keep watching that second unit and I go, is the second unit just a roll of the dice unit? Trick or treat, roll them out there.
That's how a lot of second units are in the NBA.
I think so too, but this one in particular, I just feel like so much is on Bones Highland's shoulders for it, Dev.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. When he was with that second unit, didn't play too well because he's kind of just shooting and trying to get the offense going in some type of way. And again, that's going to be tough on him if the shot's not falling. But where we've seen him play well, he's alongside Jokic. It's not with the backup unit. He has good chemistry with him. He also made it a point to find his best player, like that 2-man game, and making sure that Jokic got back to a rhythm and got back to being the one that closes him out.
Point.
Like that's that's where you learn. That's where you see what type of player he is. But that's also the mixed bag that you're getting with Bones. If with the second unit, with the second unit, he has to score, but you want him to be a point guard. He showed a little bit of both in this game, where with the second unit he scored. First unit, he got everything going in, and also he's smart enough to know who the hot man is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. For Bones, do you have any notes on him tonight?
He's been feast or famine to open the season. He's been really good or bad. He was both
he
in
was both
tonight's
tonight.
game. The interesting thing that's been happening with Bones in the rotation is like he's been playing way more minutes than usual.
Yeah.
Like he's the guy that it seems like even was playing over Bruce Brown in the fourth quarter tonight, which I thought was surprising. It really feels like he's even playing too many minutes, which is surprising considering Michael Malone's the coach of this team. I would think that would be Bruce Brown playing a lot of those minutes. But I'm okay with the bench, how it is. The bench unit that they've largely gone to, Bones Highland, Michael Porter, Bruce Brown, Jeff Green, DeAndre Jordan, I'm fine with it. I have some bones to pick about Christian Brown not being in the rotation, which we can get to, but the general sense of, the bench unit that they've been rolling out there the last couple games with Bones and Michael Porter leading the charge, I'm good with it, man. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I if anything, I think more shots for specifically those two. Like you call it feast or famine, and I think some of it is just going to be, can they take and make some tough shots? Like I don't know.
Yeah, I don't love that.
I don't love it either. I don't love it either, man. But like, do you see like a consistent pick and roll game emerging in on the second unit?
I mean,
Bones and DeAndre Jordan,
DeAndre Jordan have a good chemistry, but it doesn't feel like it's a. There's not a lot of like things that come off of that.
That's what I mean, right? It doesn't feel dynamic. It doesn't feel like you can just smash that button over and over again.
Sure.
So that's what I mean. So like, Bones is gonna have to be better from 2-point range. I know it's tough. I know he's getting a lot of attention. They either have to be fewer shots at the rim or he's got to make those shots at the rim. That's a big part of it for me. And defensively, I think a couple games in a row now he's been really, really bad. But figuring it out offensively with the second unit, I don't throw that all on Bones. It is going to be a rough go.
That's more my point, is I think that Bones, like, you want players, Malone always says, we want him to be himself. We want guys to be themselves. I think that's a really important thing in basketball. You're given ingredients and you got to like put them in the right spots to be the best version of themselves. I don't think Bones can be the thing that like saves this bench every single time, because I think it's a bit of a flawed unit. He does have to make shots. I just worry that lends itself, and I'm saying this because of my mentions, but I worry that lends himself to when he's not making them, everyone blaming him for other things not happening.
Sure.
But that's just not how we haven't. The ball never has been we've never had a second unit where we're like, man, everybody's just touching the ball and everything's happening. It's just not who they are. Christian Brown not playing is a little bit curious to me, though.
I hate it, man. I absolutely hate it. And I said it on the last show.
9-man rotation
And
tonight.
you guys laughed at me for criticizing the 9-man rotation. Why are they playing a 9-man rotation? Michael Porter's playing 36 minutes. He played 30.
Hey, Dev, did you laugh at Harrison at the
You
pregame
guys,
show?
you guys killed me for that.
We did
take
text
last
each other
game.
about
Did
it
we,
later
did
when
we
you
ta-
weren't around.
You guys,
Cal, did we murder Harrison Wynn
I
for
didn't
a
say
take?
murder.
Oh yeah, come on, man.
I was the only one who was like, "Why are they playing a 9-man rotation?"
Do you have any sad music you could play while Harrison gives his point? Can you look for something sad here?
So what specifically? What changes would you make?
Give Christian Brown minutes and don't play Michael Porter
it's a
Jr.
great
this
point.
many.
That's what I'm saying. Fewer minutes for
Yeah,
Porter.
why
is
are
what
they
you're
playing
saying.
a 9-man rotation in the 11th game of the season? Why?
Yeah, that is an interesting one.
Michael Porter played 21 minutes in the first half.
21 of 24.
Why?
Yeah.
Like, Christian Brown's been good. Why is he suddenly banished to the bench? Like, I don't know, man. Maybe there's a reason for it, but I don't get why you'd play 9 guys this early in the season. I don't get it.
You got a theory?
Yeah,
Dev?
I think that Brown should play. I really do. But also I'm not privy to the. I knew that Malone was going to not play him a lot of minutes.
Yeah.
Like that's just
You're not
who he
surprised.
is. I'm not surprised at all that he's not playing a lot of minutes. Doesn't make sense to not run your guys in the ground after already having injuries. It makes total like you're making great points. But coming from Malone, that's just kind of who he's been and what it is. And also, this is a team that is looking for like championship. Like, they want to be that type of team where there's changes made. So I just feel like that's just kind of what they're doing.
Yeah. You don't have to be that team in the 11th game of the season, though. You don't. And I'm not even asking for Christian Brown to play 20 minutes. Play him 10 minutes. Play him 15 minutes. Yeah, I just don't like the 9-man rotation.
Just to be clear, what I was asking was it's fewer minutes for Porter and not like maybe fewer for Jeff or take Jeff out of there. You just think some of those Porter minutes could go to
I agree with him. I actually agree with Harrison on this one. Look, here's what I will say, and here's what I think is going on with the Nuggets. We talked about Malone is now doing a new rotation. He usually has this, like, not 5-man all at once, but they stagger for a second, then it's five bench guys. This is the first time he's gone fully away from that, and he has this new one. I don't think he quite has it nailed down yet. That's all I think. I think he's maybe leaves Porter in a little too early in the first stint, and then it brings him back because he just is like, oh, crap, I got him out 2 minutes too late, but I always bring him back at this point. He's only had a minute rest. I think there's a little bit of that going on with him right now.
I don't think he has it down either because the game where it's looked the best was against Utah at home, and that is the game KCP did not play. So I think he's still trying to find it when everybody's healthy.
I think also a lot of it is the fact that it's what he said earlier in the year. He wants a starter out there at all times.
Which is a good thing.
It is. Yeah. But I think that's why MPJ is playing a lot more. He's staggering with that second unit. So there goes those minutes. If you put it back, then it's back to the same second unit that struggled earlier in the year with Christian Brown. So I think that he's just like, hey, I have to keep a starter out there. I'm going to do it with Michael Porter Jr.
You know what it also is probably? You can't get tied up in the, oh, he's on fire. Michael Porter hit a long two, a toe on the line, and then a three in a row in that first unit. And I wonder if it was a little bit of a, oh, he's got it going. I'll leave him out there a little bit longer. And it's like, yeah, then you're thrown. I don't know. Maybe these are all just theories. Nonetheless.
They have won 4 in a row, too.
Absolutely.
Well,
the Denver Nuggets.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You're critiquing, though, the idea that Michael Porter's coming off of 3 back surgeries, and I'm worried that he's playing 36
I'm not
minutes.
critiquing.
Last game, we were talking about how tired he was.
I'm not saying you guys are wrong. I am saying, like, Michael Malone is probably going to run with this rotation again, coming off of another win with it.
And I'm saying he shouldn't.
I will say this. The Nuggets are 8-3, and they have won 4 in a row. I do wonder if there is who knows what the right thing is. But I do wonder if there's something to if the Nuggets get to Christmas and they are 22-7, then you afford yourself a little bit more of, hey, Christian Brown's playing a lot of more minutes.
Sure.
You build up a big enough cushion that you feel comfortable experimenting later in the year. That's what the Warriors did last year. And it's the reason they were able to, like, really bring along some of their key role players later on.
I mean, this is like their best 9, you know?
There was no question. Why is he playing his best 9 guys so many
This
minutes?
is their best 9. I get it from that perspective, absolutely.
And Zeke Minaj.
This is the 9 that's going to win you the most games.
Vote. What does it mean that the Nuggets won this one? I got a lot of everybody in the chat. I've been saying, hey, they don't win this one last year. They don't win this or that. I think there's some truth to that. They do have some wins like this in their history.
Well, they needed all the talent. I do think the this team doesn't fight thing is this is the only team ever to come back from consecutive 3-1 deficits. I mean, the Nuggets have shown me plenty of fight over the years. I don't think it's necessarily a new.
There's a difference, so I want to make it clear because I'm one of the guys that have been saying this. Physical toughness is different than mental toughness. This team is mentally tough for sure.
Yeah.
I think there's something too just to do with teams feel you. The Nuggets, I think, are lacking that.
I agree,
but that's different.
That is a different thing. I'm just saying I think sometimes it can get overstated that they have shown they can win some ugly ones, but I mean I think it just shows you. Like in the last year and a half, no one would admit it, but I think there was a little air of futility around everything. And right now, there's no game to waste. Every moment is a moment you can take advantage of, get better as a team, bring the vibes up. This is a special and important season. So Jokic goes to the bench, and there's no time to mope for yourselves or feel sorry for yourselves. Go get this win because you're good enough. You know, it's actually with Murray and Porter back, even when Jokic's down. You don't say, oh, this is a G League team. Like, no, this team is good enough to go win some games. So I love that AG, KCP looked themselves in the mirror and said, what are you going to do about it?
Right.
It was a gutsy win.
Mm-hmm,
and to hang on to the momentum right now, like I don't think this loss would have been crushing, but to just hang on to what they're doing well and keep it rolling with some tough road games, it's gutsy and encouraging.
Yeah.
What I think it is a reminder type of game. Like later on in the season, you could say, you guys went on a 4-game winning streak. You guys went on the road. You were down 18 in a game, and you guys still fought without your best player having a crazy good game. This is in you guys. Let's fight. So it's like one of those type of like inspirational type of games that you could use later on down the road. But it also shows this is a team that is equipped for any type of environment, any type of situation they can overcome and fight back. So big in the sense of they had a huge hurdle and they overcame that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think it's a big – what this game to me means is the Nuggets have so many players that they have so many different ways to beat you. I mean, we've talked about Bones has had a night already. Tonight was Aaron Gordon and KCP and just a bunch of guys. But as much as Jokic was still the best player on the team, like he still led the team in scoring, plus minus, all those things, Denver just has ways to survive a Jokic catastrophe, which was foul trouble tonight, ways to survive it in ways they never have before. We've seen games where Jokic has been bad or in foul trouble and Murray went off for 40 and that happened. That didn't happen tonight. Tonight it was just like they've got so many guys that they could survive that.
That they were still good enough.
Still good enough to survive that long enough to get Jokic back into this game. And to me, that's the difference between this team in the years past and the years before and now. And furthermore, how do you get to 55-plus wins? How do you get there? It's with nights like tonight.
Yes.
Because there's so many 50-50 games that happen where it gets, it gets a little murky here or there. And the more you can flip a loss to a win, that's really what separates a 50-win team, which is a very good team, and a 56, 57-win team. In Denver, yes, it's early. They're only 8-3, meaning it's not like they're destined for 55 wins. But they're doing a lot of things that hint at they might be a 55-win team this year. They already have a bunch of these under their belt.
Because there's just so much room for error.
Yeah.
There's, like tonight, when Nikola Jokic only plays 21 minutes.
Right.
He's not on the court for the entire second half. This team's so talented and so deep. And I really do think it's one of the advantages that's coming from how unselfish and pass-first Nikola Jokic entered this season playing. Like, he's gotten everybody else going. He's gotten Michael Porter's confidence
Everybody
up.
is going.
He's gotten KCP's confidence up.
KCP's confidence is through the roof
as
right
the
now,
one
man.
new starter. KCP's the only new starter here that, wasn't in Denver last season. Well, Jamal Murray didn't play, but he's still been on this team. KCP looks like he's played with Jokic and the Nuggets for years.
Yeah.
He's gotten Aaron Gordon's confidence up. I just love how, the role players are vibing to start the season. And I think a big reason why is Jokic's mentality.
Deb, you have any notes on Jamal Murray tonight? He went 18 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, shot 6 of 15.
8 rebounds, another reason why Denver won the rebounding
Man,
battle.
it's actually great. Malone challenged him. You should be grabbing 5 boards a game. He got 5 last game, 8 tonight. That's something.
Yeah, you're
Was that
challenging.
last year?
Huh?
Was that last year? Was it that?
No,
this
last
year?
week.
That
He
was
challenged-
last
No,
week?
last game, I should say. Last game, he was coming off of a very good game, and he asked Malone, "What are you seeing from me?" And he goes, "I think you should be rebounding more." And he grabbed 5. So.
Exactly. Think about challenging a guy that's coming off of a injury that stopped him for so long. He comes in, he's still playing 30 minutes, so he's still feeling well. And also, this was a game that he started to play better in as the game progressed. Started out, not that well, and then still finding ways to score. He's scoring in so many different ways, and that confidence is there. The body's starting to go along with it. Every single game that he gets to continue to play, especially big minutes, he's just going to get more confident and more confidence, and you're starting to see that ooze into him and the other guys. But being able to just score 18 while still not feeling like your complete self, like Jamal Murray's going to have a monster year, and he's only getting better.
He had a couple of these plays tonight. I forget who was guarding him, where he just broke his man down one-on-one. And he didn't get by him because he doesn't have that burst back quite yet. But he did get to the step back.
Yeah.
And he did get separation. And he knocked a couple of those jumpers down. And when you see that, you know that Jamal Murray's feeling good about himself.
Yeah.
Like when he's trying to break his man down one-on-one, he's way more confident in himself now than he was even a couple games ago.
His followays, man, have been money.
I think he's like 9 of 10 from the floor on impossible shots this season.
He's hit a lot of them already.
The one where he got stuck kind of looked like he grimaced a little bit, where he planted his leg, picked up his dribble, had nothing, and just did the turnaround jumper.
It did look like he sprained his ankle tonight. He came down awkwardly and tied his shoe tighter, so I think that was
No.
But
a little ankle tweak.
It's just so funny how just back against the wall elevates him. He's just such a funny player, man.
I see some people in the chat have asked why Eric is here. Somebody actually DM'd, I think. Somebody needs to reply to this, by the way, on the Facebook. Somebody DM'd saying, what happened to Eric? Is he in
Facebook?
Is it timeout? And then somebody put something that was like, Adam, I noticed you looked upset when somebody mentioned Eric the other day. Like, there's something going on.
Yeah,
Guys,
he's not
Eric's
with us
on vacation.
anymore.
He's on vacation. He's in the chat right now, actually.
Someone asked if he was like fired. I'm
He's
like,
living
he's in the chat. That would be wild.
Living his
you know
best
what?
life.
F this guy. I'm gonna continue to comment.
I love that there's like drama, like the DNVR drama here. Like, oh, what's going on with Eric? We said F that guy, guys. We said F Eric. Get
Too
the
much
hell out of
giggling
here.
on that last show.
Eric's on a
Had to end
farm
it.
far away.
Far away. All right, let's take a break. On the other side, we got some super chats to hit, maybe a little around the association. I don't know if we'll have enough time.
Breckenridge Brewery, the official beer of DNVR. Make sure to pick up some Mile High City Copper Lagers. Make sure to pick up whatever your favorite Breck Brew is. If you don't know where to get it, check out the Breck Brew Beer Locator on their website. That will tell you exactly where to get Breck Brew closest to you. We've got tons of Breck Brew options at the bar here as well. I was sitting next to Dev tonight watching the game. He was drinking a Vanilla Porter Jr. Whatever you want, we've got it here. And if you don't know where to get Breck Brew, like I said, check out the Breck Brew Beer Locator. Breck Brew is the official beer of DNVR. Pins and Aces, they're the official golf apparel partner of DNVR. If you wear Pins and Aces gear, you're going to get compliments on and off the course. They're a family-owned golf and apparel business based right here in Colorado. They've got awesome polos, hats, golf bags, even our favorite beer sleeve. It keeps 7 beers cold inside your golf bag for the entire round. Check out pinsandaces.com. Use the code DNVR to get 15% off your first order and get free shipping. Pinsandaces.com. Finally, if you need tickets for concerts, shows, sporting events, whatever you need, Game Time is your go-to. Use our link in the YouTube description right below here. Use our link in the podcast description as well if you're listening to this via a podcast. They've got these great last-minute price drops on the Game Time app. Nuggets tickets, Avs tickets, Broncos tickets. Go to Game Time, concert, shows, whatever you need. Don't be comparing all those different third-party sites. Just go to Game Time, one stop. Use them for all your concerts, shows, sporting events, whatever you need.
Alrighty, we got some super chats to get to. Let's check it out. So many buttons to push. Gordon, our guy from Canada.
That's how you know it was a good win.
He says, I suspected we'll find that the problem with Jokic's demeanor has nothing to do with basketball. Till then, be patient and enjoy the fact that he's producing and not sulking. I mean, 100%.
Well, that's a one-pepper
First of all,
take, Gordon.
We got to
First of all,
mention for the listeners,
he
that's
is
a monster
sulking.
super chat from Gordon, by the way.
He is sulking.
He is, yeah.
He is
sums up.
producing. You are right that he's producing.
But also, by the way, man, like it is true. The worst thing we do, and we are guilty of this as anyone, is play the armchair psychologist. Sometimes it's good. Like sometimes it can be revealing or this or that. But with Jokic in particular, I don't know, man. Who knows?
I mean,
Who knows?
I would say
He's playing good.
I would say we guess a lot with him, but we've also got like 7 years of watching and observing him.
Oh,
to go
no
back
question
on.
about it. No question about it. Yeah, no question about it. All right, what else we got? Paul says, every other Jokic-era team loses this game and probably gets blown out. Teams that contend for championships overcome adversity like they did tonight.
Boom.
The second part of it, 100% true. I will say, the Nuggets have, they have the 7.
They actually won this game in Indiana last year, and Jokic didn't play a second.
They won it?
Yeah, Barton had 30 points
Oh,
and
that was
6
the Barton-
threes.
oh,
but
that's the one-
Who's
Oh.
counting?
I love that you're still on the Barton defense. You're still here.
They don't win this game with Barton last year. They literally did win this game because of Barton last year. But I am glad they have
Love
KCP.
it.
He's awesome.
He is awesome. The longer we do this, though, the more I wish he would have picked a different number because he really does look like Barton.
It's hilarious.
It's actually hilarious. They have the same
It is-
body.
it's
They have the
hilarious.
same body
The
type,
headband.
headband, and the
It's
same
so
number.
good.
I've never mixed it up.
Well, I don't mix it up either. I'm just saying when you see him out there, you're kind of like, it looks a lot like Bar. Come on, man. Come on. Edward says, DK promo for John Jokic, 20-plus points.
That was
close
an
one.
incredible comment.
Freaking Dev. Ruining my guy Edward's super chat. Just ruined it.
I'm glad that he got the win. He got the
dub. What else we got?
What about dubs?
Steve May. Vogt went out of his way to say hi. Devin Wind were more like the popular girl clique in high school. Vogt now leading the DNVR conversation. Was he back here again tonight?
He was,
Steve, come sit at the table with me and Dev.
He
real
just
fast.
left.
Come
Seriously?
say hi.
Like he
Real
just
fast.
sent that comment and left.
So, I've been in a relationship, right?
Oh, let's go.
Been in a relationship, and it was middle school. This is a middle school relationship. This is the I'm not gonna talk to you when I see you, but when I get home, I'm gonna write you on social media. I seen you and your friend over
Twitter
there.
fingers are
Are you
strong,
flaming
Steve.
our guy
seen
who
you
won?
and your
Those
friend
super
over there.
chatters.
Are you flaming the guy that one super chatted and two came to the bar 2 games in a row?
How we gonna call us a girl clique? Come say what's up. Say hi. I don't know who you are. You know, like say
I don't know,
what's
man.
up.
Win does have mean girl energy.
He
Look
does
at him.
have
over
mean
there.
girl energy. He does have total
Just
mean
say
girl
what's
energy.
up. That's
Steve,
that's
I'm
Steve,
watching next game with you, Steve.
I-
Me and you
I mean,
at our own table. Me and you, Steve.
I genuinely feel bad for these things, though. Honestly,
it's a weird spot to be in too. You don't want to go walk up to people.
Oh, I
and
did
just-
tonight. 3 guys who had no idea who I was.
See, and
I'm telling you,
That's
this
how you
happens.
uncomfortable.
It
It's
actually happens a
fellas.
lot. I've done it a lot where I've walked up
Leave
and
me
tried to
alone.
start conversation, and people are like, "Can I get another?" And you're like, "Oh, I'm not a waiter."
Yeah.
Ah.
You don't watch the show, do you?
You don't know.
They're
Yeah,
like,
it's
what
a little
show?
weird. Anyway, it's not an excuse. God damn
Steve
it.
is missing all of this. He's
I
on
saw
the
it.
ride home.
All right, well, there you go. Casey Mack says, already guaranteed you going 500 on this road trip, and that's always what you want to do. Now,
That's a good
any
point.
win, one against the Celtics or Bulls, is a plus. It's
Great
so
point.
true, man. It's so true. KCP brought this up the other day, by the way, when he was saying something about most important thing is we've started this road trip with a win.
Yeah.
You know, it sets us up to have a good road trip or something. It's like now you're really set up.
Look, every team goes into a road trip wanting to win every game. They all want to go 4-0, but you know, a lot of times that's not what happens. It's not realistic.
100%. All right, what
3-1 would be great.
2-2 even is not bad. So we're
Yeah,
already off to a
not
good
bad.
start here. What do we got? What's next? Oh, you already got it on there. I can't read it. Pavel says, put a few bucks when Nuggets were down 17 and it paid off, so I'm going to share some with my DNVR fam.
Hell yeah.
Thanks, DraftKings. All Nuggets are good. Givali. I love
Big
it, man.
time.
Can I
That's
tell
big
you
time.
something? That is big time because there are games when the Nuggets are down where I'm like, you know what? F it. Let's just see. Let's put a sprinkle of money. This was not one of those games.
Yeah. You know who this
Gotta-
would have been scary for? Eric would have went crazy when they were down big.
You think he would have bet on it?
Oh, he would have bet on it.
He said it in the chat.
Oh, he
Really?
would have bet on
He
it.
tweeted. He said, I wish I was in America so I could tweet.
Oh,
Wow.
he does
And
that.
man, he was
That is
feeling
what he
that one
does.
because I was not feeling it. I was not feeling it. But good job, Pavel. You made some money. Brad says, what a dub. Was at the game, sat next to some Pacers fans that couldn't believe Yoke and said, that boy Bones is a bucket. What a night. Every nugget is good. I love it.
He was with some like 12-year-olds. He's a bucket.
Some Indiana
Yeah,
12-year-olds.
they're going crazy.
That Bones is a bucket.
Yo, we actually had a lot of people snapping pictures and tagging us today. I don't know if you saw on social media at the game. We have an Indiana crew, man. Shouts to Indiana.
Was anybody next to the fan that Michael Malone got kicked out? Let me
Man,
know.
that was wild. What happened?
It seemed like a fan was just talking shit to Malone, and he turned to the security guard and got him tossed
He pulled
out.
a LeBron.
Yeah, but why pay
You pulled a
courtside to go
LeBron?
trash talk Malone?
I know. Like, what could you even... Like, why do you have hair now?
Why do you have
Good stuff, man.
He has the funniest lines. Eric says, felt like a game we lose in 2021. Lucky it's 2022. All right, there we go. Everybody agrees. This is new nugs. David says, weird game, huh, boys? Also, y'all look very handsome tonight. Man,
See,
Thank
David's
you,
a
David.
real one,
man,
man.
he knows how to do it. That's
David's
how
a
you
real
super
one.
chat. I put on this Eddie Bauer joint. Right?
Oh, Eddie Bauer.
Bauer.
Shout out.
Very soft. Donnie says, $10 super chat. Hell yeah. F the refs. Shout out, Dev.
See, that's how you show love. See, Donnie, that's my boy.
A direct
that's what I'm
shout
talking
out.
about.
You know what happened? You know what? I'll tell you what happened. What happened was I made fun of you the other day for something, and now all of our reviews are Dev reviews,
Yeah.
and all of these
See?
chats are
Yeah.
Dev chats.
Y'all are real ones. See,
make
that's why I
fun of me
love you
more.
guys. I love all of you.
Whatever. All right, what do we got? What Spada says, Hey, Dev. Dope shirt again. Alan Parson produced that album. Seeing him on Friday.
Wow.
Go Ibaka. Go Nuggets. Wow. What a comeback. That math guy on Spurs went arithmetic on us. 5 fouls? What is this, a bird farm?
See, he educated us.
Do you know this guy?
He educated us in so many different ways. Then he spoke knowledge, man.
That was incredible.
Real one.
That was
Real
an
one.
incredible super chat. 10 out of 10. No notes. Chase says, I can't believe DNVR traded Eric to PHNX.
He would have. He has a no trade clause. He definitely would have declined that. Trade.
Yeah, he would have
he
definitely
would've
declined it.
declined
Also, like, that's one I wouldn't give him. Terry.
Hell no.
I wouldn't give him.
I think he's untradeable.
I-
Don't you gotta
I'd rather-
get something back too?
Stop. We gotta stop.
we traded him for cash.
We gotta stop. Griff says $10
Cash
super chat.
consideration.
Bonejich. What do we think about this Bonezich?
Bone sitch.
You know what?
Bonezich.
Whatever. It's,
If you pay
Doesn't
for
really
it,
roll off the
if you
tongue.
pay for it,
I feel like the Serbs are going to reject that
We'll
one.
say
I
it
don't
once
know.
a game if you.
Brad
super
Cooley
chat
says,
it.
also
Once a show.
watching what makes this play great allowed me to see more of the nuances of the absolutely unreal basketball IQ that Jokic has. It's absurd. 100%
Nice.
agree. Jokic is the most fun player to do film study on. I mean that sincerely. The single most fun because you catch all the brilliance in real time, just the like result of it, the end result. But when you go back, you often catch, especially the more you watch, you catch the little things and you're like, oh, here's what he's doing. Here's what he's doing. It's all brilliant stuff, man.
It really is.
Totally brilliant. Jahed says, just take my money. Great win. I love it.
Good
I
super
love when
chat.
people get
We
so
will
hyped that they
take
give us
your
money,
money.
man. You guys, we
take
sincerely appreciate it. You guys
Great
know
super
this.
chat.
You
Great
guys know
super
this.
chats tonight.
You know, we exist because of the support of our audience, both as DNVR members, as super chatters, as people that buy our merch, as people that share our stuff on social media, people that buy Breckenridge Brewery or whatever it is. Those are the things that keep us alive. So it's awesome when we get a great win like tonight, and you see people that are like, "How do I want to celebrate it with the fellas?"
With the
kind of
fellas.
showing them some love. So it's not lost on us. You guys want to do a little around the association?
Yes,
I should
let's
say
do it.
real quickly,
Yes.
if you're watching this on Ivaka TV, know that now and for the next 2 weeks, every time we wrap up a post-game show on Ivaka TV, 100 Invisible Threads will start. So as you're watching this, here in 5-10 minutes, whenever we're done, 100 Invisible Threads is going to be airing
Love that.
immediately after there. Super producer Kale is going to push the buttons or levers, whatever it is that he has to do, and it'll be playing right after this.
You
So
can spend like a consecutive 4 hours watching the pregame show, the Nuggets game,
yeah.
the postgame show,
Yep.
and then 100 invisible threads
I'm
all on
telling you,
Ivaka.
I'm so
What
excited.
a night that would be. What a night.
I'm telling you, I am so excited for the more and more people. Like, I keep giving people watch it, and they'll hit me up. I'm so excited for people. I'm so proud of it. I think it's really
Yeah.
good. And if you're a diehard Nuggets/Jokic fan, I just know you're gonna love it. So I'm excited for all the people to get to check it out. You guys want to round the association real quick?
Yes.
It's so early that we don't have a ton of great ones.
I love to
I know.
hear it.
We're in unfamiliar
Love it.
territory on
Have you
ATA.
seen the D'Angelo Russell
No,
clip?
what is it?
I'm gonna get it-
find it.
I'm gonna
Find
get
it
it
for
to
it.
Kale right
Send it to
now.
Kale by the time I get
Because
there.
the first ever NBA power play happened tonight.
Power
I
play?
heard about
5-on-4
that.
basketball was played.
No way.
D'Angelo Russell forgot to check into the game, fellas.
What does that mean?
Well, I'll show you.
What on
we got
earth?
Not
Kale,
get into
sending
the
this to
game.
you.
Man, this is a tough one because all of the games are, well, not all of them. All right, we'll go. Trailblazers beat the Hornets. The Trailblazers are 8-3, just like
Stacking
Denver.
wins.
I hate to see it.
Yeah.
Are we gonna hate the Trailblazers again this year?
Who's hateable on the team?
Let me see.
Yusef Nurkic,
Yusef
Jeremy
Nurkic,
Grant.
Jeremy Grant.
Who else?
That's it.
Josh,
That's really
Josh
it.
Hart's likable.
And Jeremy Grant's not even that hateable. Like it's
Yeah.
It's just Nurkic.
What is going on here with this clip? So
This is
a free throw
the
goes
5
up.
on
Okay, so
4.
D'Angelo Russell should be in the game, but
He
you
didn't
guys are gonna
share.
look at the
One,
look at the
2,
there he is,
Just standing there?
just standing there. No one's figured
Nobody
it out.
has figured it out?
The Wolves have 4 players on the floor.
Did they punish him
And they
for
missed.
it? And they missed. Did they
Oh,
get
they
the
got
stop?
the- of
Oh,
course
they got
they
the
got the
rebound.
offensive rebound.
Dang it! Please tell me they get a stop.
Oh.
Dang.
Wait, did he run in late in the play?
Somebody probably was like, dude, what are you doing?
He
Did
just
I-
ran on the court.
Is it a technical if you run in that
Yeah.
instant?
So they should have gotten a technical for that.
Dev, you ever won a rec game with 4 players?
One time, it was like the worst league. I don't even
Yeah.
know why I was there. It was a fill-in, but we've lost to a team with 4 people. I'm like, how is this happening? I'm like pissed. People are taking tough shots. I'm like, yo, this is not how you play this.
In college, we won an intramural B League game with 4 players.
Yeah. won many a game in 4 player. It's actually the best. Back in the day, it was the best.
It's too much. It's too much that you have to do, and too much communicating.
Big man, you just play the 2-2 zone.
Oh yeah,
you just have to play the 2-2 zone the whole time, and then guys get so mad. Oh, it's the best. Anyway, Trailblazers, they win. The Jazz, the best team in basketball, continues to win. They get a win on the road in Atlanta, 125 to 119.
They're beating some good teams, man.
They actually have like a pretty good trophy case right now of pelts. The Celtics get the win, 128 to 112 over the Pistons. They improved to 8-3 as well. How did Jason Tatum do tonight?
Probably pretty well.
I didn't check. I'm not having as much fun with that segment.
He had 31 points tonight on 10 of 20 shooting. Whatever.
Man, that's going to be the first real test for the Nuggets since they've turned the corner here.
It really
is. I
is.
can't wait for that.
It's going to be a great game.
Great game.
I don't. That one I think would be pretty surprising if they win. But you know what? F it. Measuring stick game. See where you are.
Surprised.
Let's find out where
but
you
you
are.
can't play this game in Boston. But if you bring your A game, we'll see.
The Nets get a win over the Knicks. They're still the Kings of New York at 5-7, 112-85. No notes there. Raptors get the win over the Rockets, 116-109. No notes there. Pelicans get the win over the Bulls, 115-111. That one was a little bit of a squeaker. The Pelicans improved to 6-5. And then the Phoenix Suns do get the win over the Timberwolves. Those poor Timberwolves, man, 5-7.
Tough.
Can't say I feel too bad for them, but
it's not good.
No, it's not good.
Not good.
And by the way, they are
Minnesota.
panicking over there. I don't know if you've seen, man. There is a lot of panic.
I'm not surprised.
Anthony Edwards doesn't look happy. Their vibes continue to be bad.
Imagine if we were in their shoes.
We wouldn't be happy.
We'd be panicking.
The Grizzlies look like they're going to pick up a win over the Spurs, albeit in overtime. It's a crazy one. 123-116 with 50 seconds left. Clippers up 10 on the Lakers right now for the Battle of L.A., and the Magic get the win over the Mavericks.
Yeah,
the Mavericks lose.
A wild game. So shot attempts. Luka, 29 shot attempts.
Wow.
For 24 points.
That's not good.
And then flipped it. Spencer Dinwiddie, 9 of 19 for 29 points.
Wow.
Those are the only guys that shot the ball, pretty much, like for the entire game.
That's crazy.
Tim Hardaway Jr. had 10 shots. So they had two guys that got into double figures. And then the Magic didn't even play with Banchero today. They still got the win.
That's wild.
Well, they still had Bol Bol, though, who went for 11 points and 7 rebounds on 4 of 6 shooting. So there you go.
Caleb Houston played a lot of minutes in that game.
What a weird tank job by Orlando. They somehow get that win. That's a weird one for Dallas, man. 6-4. I can't figure out if Dallas is good or bad or what they are. The Bucks are somehow only up 2 points on the Thunder tonight. I'm guessing
Giannis isn't playing.
Yeah, they're not playing, so no Giannis. Giannis might be MVP, guys. They're 9-1, and when he sits, they lose to the Thunder or almost
the
lose.
front runner, I'd say.
I'd say the front runner right there. All right, hit that outro music, Kale. Guys, I hope if you are watching this on Avaca TV, I hope you stay tuned and check out 100 Visible Threads. We'll be starting up right now. If you don't have Avaca TV, what are you waiting for? Quit streaming these games. Grow up. Buy Avaca TV, put it on your thing. You get HD quality, and you get the DNVR channel. It's the only place that gives you both Altitude TV and the DNVR channel. People in the chat have been saying it, by the way, guys. It's really cool that you get to watch our show on the television like that, on the actual challenge.
You don't have to use an HDMI cord and hook up your computer or anything. It's just on there.
I know. It's actually funny, man, because I have talked to some people, some like, I'll just say less technologically inclined people that have told me like how
Your
easy
parents.
it is. Yeah.
Okay.
My
Old
parents'
people?
generation, I'll say.
Sure.
My parents' generation, they were like, you know what? I'm like, yeah, it's so easy. I just click over to DNVR and I watch the post-game show.
Yeah.
Love that.
That's how it should be, man.
That's how it should
Hey,
be,
4-0 since Nelson Reed got Ivaca TV. If you all get Ivaca TV, the Nuggets will win the title.
Nelson,
Everybody
my
go
guy.
get it.
My
Go get
guy. Hit that like button on the way out. Have a good one, everybody.
I just had my hands up because y'all did.
Yeah.